You don't get enough credit for that. You bring a lot more to the table. What do you say about that, and especially coming from Adam?
Oh, it's nice to hear. I mean, yeah, it helps. I was a dual athlete in college, and so I think that's a little bit part of it. And I just like to be in the weight room, so that kind of helps as well. But hearing it from him, and it's just nice to hear.
What's the sort of the journey been like for you? It's kind of similar to Adam in a lot of ways, having to work your way up to get this opportunity.
It's been a long road. It's been fun, and it's crazy. I'm going to my 8th year now, so it doesn't feel like that, but it is eerily similar to Adam's, being on a practice squad and then being on teams for a while. And I've kind of jumped around lately, but I'm just glad to be back in Minnesota.
I know you didn't grow up in Minnesota, but being in Nebraska, were you a Vikings fan, or which teams did you follow?
I wasn't a big football watcher actually growing up. I liked to play sports, didn't really like to watch them. It wasn't until college, until I met my wife, that I started watching NFL, and we watched the Vikings. She was from Rochester, Minnesota, and so her family's a big Viking fan, and so we started doing that. And then as college, going through college, the Vikings had their training camp down there. And I would sneak onto the field with a coach's pass. My O-line coach would let me. And I'd watch all the individual drills and all that stuff and kind of see how pros worked and incorporate that into what I did in college.
What do your in-laws think about you playing for the Vikings?
Well, they're very excited, especially my father-in-law. He's been a lifelong Vikings fan, and, they always have stories of her, like my wife and him watching football together and stuff. So it's meaningful to us personally.
Why is Minnesota a good fit for you?
I think with the new coaching staff as their vision for what the team wants to be, I think I fit into there. I'm a hard worker. I like to excel on the field in terms of the ability to finish and just work ethic. And I think that's what I bring to the table in that sense. And I think I fit the personality I think this team wants to become. And I see a lot of guys that have been here previously that fit that mold too. And I think in this situation and environment, you'll see a lot of people stepping up and excelling.
What was it like to watch Adam from afar kind of blossom as a couple years went by?
It's been really cool. I mean, even C.J. Ham, I threw against him a bunch, and seeing him make a Pro Bowl, seeing Adam make Pro Bowl, and just be in the same spot for as long as they have. And I was just joking around saying someday they're going to make a movie about Adam. Just from the outside in, he's got that story, that underdog story, and it's so cool to watch and see.
Who plays him in the movie?
I have no idea. He can pick that. Who would play me?
Would you have a part in that movie?
Oh, very small.
Is it Mankato State or Minnesota State Mankato?
Oh, right now it's Minnesota State Mankato.
Why was the running game where you were last year in Indy so effective?
I think it was the mentality of the O-line room that helped, and then the wide receivers. If you watched film, the wide receivers would come in there and get great blocks and sustain them. And that was a big part because not a lot of teams can get in there and get those blocks on the edges, and sometimes that's the make or break between 20 yards or 5 yards. And I think they just being in that kind of room as a veteran room, they've been together for quite a while and established coaching staff, and that whole entire mentality of that room is kind of what drove that offense.
Chris, I know it's only day 2, but do you have early impressions of the O-line here, your teammates, and what the mentality is?
Yeah, I mean, it's early days, but I think that it's a great room. They work hard. Just being like the last 2 days, just working out with them. They work hard. Their mind's in the right place, and they're really eager to learn and grow. And I think that's what you need.
You've been part of changes before, either personally or coaching staff. Like, how do you just kind of go about learning the type of culture that is going to? You mentioned you feel like the fit is you're already feeling that. So
I'm used to kind of this coaching change. I've had a coaching change in Jacksonville. Miami was a new coaching staff. Carolina was a coaching staff. And then, so I've seen a little bit of everything. I've seen old school, more new school thinking. And I just kind of think that it's an environment that fosters like the players taking over and growing compared to a fear-driven system. And I think that is going to be key to getting this team to where it needs to go and where it wants to go.
And then you're being coached by Chris Cooper, who's been a player as well. What does he kind of bring, having worn similar shoes?
I mean, yeah, playing 8 years in the NFL, I mean, the same spot, Denver, and he's got a wealth of knowledge. I mean, anytime you have a coach who's also been a player, he has insights and stuff that he's done too. I mean, you're basically getting an extra player as well as a coach. And he can see things from different angles that you might not. And, you know, he knows how players operate. I think that's the other thing is coaches who have been around a long time, they'll know how people operate, but young coaches who are just getting in it, who haven't played before, sometimes that's the struggle. And so he knows that everyone learns a different way, everyone sets a different way, everyone plays a different way. And so he can cater his coaching to that. And I think that's really valuable.
All right, everyone, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.